Hey there, Carnage Cravers. Welcome back to Carnage Corner. I am Ken Carnage, and I skipped. I skipped the last pay per view. I do apologize. Uh, I made notes and everything else, but again, I couldn't go to my studio because the ventilation, the air conditioning was down, and it's rather warm. I mean, no, I'm not in like Texas, Louisiana, or Florida, but it still gets warm. So that being said, last night was Clash of Champions, and I'll start by saying I really enjoyed the show. I did. Had a couple of things I didn't like, but hey, you're not always going to get everything you want, right? And as the old saying goes, you may not always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. So, with that in mind, we're going to go into this, and we're going to talk about the kickoff show. On the kickoff show, Drew Gulak did retain his Cruiserweight Championship against Humberto and Lince Dorado. First off, I love Gulak. Gulak is great. I love his ring work. Very technical. Very much in the style that I like. The mat wrestling grappler, joint manipulation style. I love that shit. The high flying, man, I haven't always been the biggest fan. It takes a very special type of high flyer to get me invested in a high flyer. Somebody like a Rey Mysterio was probably the biggest high flyer that I ever, found myself a fan of, because normally I'm not a fan of that kind of thing. That being said, Dorado has been around for a while. He's athletically impressive, but I find this new Humberto kid much more impressive than Dorado. I find him very impressive, partially because with his build and his style, he's able to do many different styles of wrestling. He can high fly, but that's not all he can do. He's also got the size to him to where you can believe him brawling. You can believe him with the technical mat wrestling. I think this guy's got a huge upside to him, and I do think at some point he may be Cruiserweight champion. Of course, the rumor is that 205 Live is going to be ending, and all the cruiserweights are going to be moving over to NXT. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's a rumor that I'm hearing. If it's true, we may see Humberto hold something other than the Cruiserweight Championship as well, North American Championship, NXT title. The sky's kind of the limit for this kid, as long as he keeps going the way he's going. We got three very bright minds, no matter what I think of them personally. Three very bright minds that are going to be in charge of the three WWE brands moving forward, because again, rumor has it that Vince is going to be stepping away from wrestling to focus on the XFL, leaving three different people in charge of creative for his three different brands. And any one of those guys, I think, is going to know what to do with Humberto. So, that being said, Gulak retained, and I like that decision. I do like Humberto, but I don't think it's time yet to take the Cruiserweight title off of Gulak. I think Gulak's the right guy to bring the Cruiserweight title from the dying 205 Live into the NXT brand. I think he's good. I think the first feud I would put Gulak into is I'd stick him in there with Pete Dunne, because I believe him and Pete Dunne would put on a clinic, an absolute clinic. I'd love to see that match. I really would love to see that match. Maybe a best of 7 for those two, because just now I know what you're saying. Oh, their styles are too similar. You need contrasting styles. Yes and no. I would argue that it depends on what you like out of wrestling. While like the high flyers, I believe a high flyer shines best when going up against a technical grappler or against a brawler or even a giant, because of the contrast. If there's one style of wrestling where you can have the two guys have the same style and it work really well, it's the technical aspect, the mat wrestling aspect. So, normally I would agree with you, but in this case, I do believe that this could be gold. It really could be. That being said, next up we had AJ Styles. He retained the United States Championship against Cedric Alexander. Cedric has gotten a big push, not a big push, but he's gotten a push and a bit of a rub. Since being on Raw, which is good for him. Like I'm not Cedric's biggest fan, but he's definitely got talent. That much is obvious. Blind man can see that. But I would like to see some more tenacity out of him, maybe, and he showed some of that during this feud with AJ, which is good. I mean, AJ will bring it out of people. So him working with AJ is really good for him. He's probably not done working with AJ because of what happened. AJ getting the win and then the OC coming out and beating him down, beating Cedric down. So I don't think he's done working with AJ. And AJ may end up dropping the U.S. title to him, which will be a big rub for Cedric. AJ, of course, being former WWE champion and all. So that's the kickoff show. Now, getting into Clash of Champions proper, we had a opening match. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler challenging Seth and Braun for the Raw Tag titles, and we had a slip on a banana peel moment here with Braun accidentally knocking, I think it was Roode, into Seth and Seth smacking into the turnbuckles and Braun accidentally sending himself flying over the top rope and then and then Seth got pinned by Roode, I think it was, a glorious DDT. It was a nice, it's good for Roode and Ziggler. They're the Raw Tag Team titles. That's good for them. You had to get those titles off of Seth and Braun, and I understand that because, where are you going to take their story moving forward if they're still supposed to be tag team partners? It doesn't work as well. That was a way to add another development in their rivalry for the Universal title. It's been done a million times. I know people complained about it. I personally had no issue with it. I would have had an issue with it if they'd continued it past this pay-per-view because where else were you going to take that? So, that being said, Roode and Ziggler, new Raw Tag Team titles. I'd say that's good. I give that a thumbs up for sure. Then we go into the women's SmackDown, the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bayley retained against Charlotte, which my first reaction to that is, what? No. Bullshit. Yeah, my first three reactions anyways. But no, she did. She did. Now, she cheated, but she won. And I would have rather seen the SmackDown title on Charlotte. I really would have. I don't know what it is about Bayley, but I've never liked her. I've never thought of her as championship material. Actually, you know what? I do know what it is. She's John Cena in a bra. That's what it is. I haven't liked John Cena for fucking years either, and yeah, that's what it is. It's that freaking goody two shoes. I'm a comic book superhero bullshit. Yeah, I'm not. I know it's funny considering I have a Batman shirt on, but Batman's not like that. Yeah, his comics are usually dark and gritty and, just don't watch the Adam West TV series. That does not showcase what I'm talking about. Anyways, back to this. I just never really liked Bayley. I never thought of her as championship material. Not a singles championship. Anyways, her and Sasha as the tag champions, I didn't mind so much, but what was the name of their team? The Legit Huggers. God, that's a stupid name. All right, I'm going to move on. So from there, we went into the SmackDown Tag Team match. The Revival defeated the New Day to become SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now, history was made here. Everybody likes to talk about when history is made, so I'm going to do it too. History was made here because the Revival became the first ever team to hold the NXT tag titles, the Raw tag titles, and the SmackDown tag titles. Yep, they did that. They did that. Now, be sure to tune in next week when some unknown wrestler will become the first ever wrestler under 5 feet tall who's missing his left toe manages to win a title, an undisclosed title, in a dark match on a Thursday evening. First time ever. So, that being said, we'll move on to the that was sarcasm for those of you who were confused. Moving on to the women's tag team title match, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, which is a team up that I love. I was a fan of both of these in their singles careers, and I think it's really cool that they've become a team. They were defending their titles against Fire and Desire. Stupid fucking name. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. So, that being said, this was fun. This was fun. It was a very fun match. The dichotomy between Mandy and Nikki. I guess Mandy'd been making comments about Nikki's looks. I really don't know what comments she could have been making. I know that when Nikki's in the ring, she looks all freaking crazy and disheveled and shit. But if you ever see a picture of her from her normal life, she's not an ugly woman, not by a long shot. But that being said, so the dichotomy between Mandy and Nikki was great. The matching up between Mandy and Alexa was great. Alexa and Deville was great. Nikki and Deville was great. This just worked really good. It worked really, really good. I enjoyed it. They did have a point in the match where Alexa almost became the 24/7 champion. Yeah, you heard me right. R-Truth came out running from everybody and decided that the ring was the safe place to hide. So Alexa tried to roll him up and get the pin. So that was funny. That made me laugh. But ultimately, Alexa and Nikki retained their women's tag team championships, which is fantastic. Excuse me. So, moving on. The Intercontinental Championship. The Miz versus Shinsuke Nakamura. But Nakamura did not come alone. He brought Sami Zayn. Why does Sami Zayn exist? Is it to annoy me? If that's why Sami Zayn exists, he is doing a fantastic job. I find that man to be supremely annoying. Like, really, really annoying. Alright, let me get back to this. So, Shinsuke did eventually beat The Miz for to retain the Intercontinental Championship. He, of course, did this off of the distraction from Shinsuke Nakamura. Miz allowed himself to be distracted. He lost the match. This is, pretty much babyface mistake 101. And we've seen it all. We've seen it a million times. It is what it is. I, for one, really would like to see The Miz get the Intercontinental Championship again. He'll tie Jericho's record of 9 championships. And then, here's an idea. Then maybe Dolph Ziggler will beat him and he'll tie for 9 championships. And Miz can beat him and set a new record of 10 championships. And then Dolph... I think you got where I was going with that. For the last, maybe 6 years, there's been the title... And don't I don't have the math in front of me, so bear with me on this. But in the last like 6 or 7 years, the Intercontinental Championship has changed hands like, you know, a dozen and a half times, and more than half of those times, the person winning or losing the title has been the Miz or Dolph Ziggler. So they're kind of stuck in that mid card. I would, of course, love to see Miz get to the top of the card again, maybe get a run with the Universal or WWE Championship. I'm not holding my breath on it, and that's not anything against Miz, because obviously I think he's capable of doing it. But with the landscape at the top of the card, I don't know if he's going to get put in that spot. You know, because on the top of the card for Raw, you obviously have Rollins, Strowman, McIntyre, who didn't even appear on this show, which is a crying shame. And then of course, you know, the Fiend is in the mix there now. So Finn Balor, who belongs in 205 Live, but that's another story. You know, and then over on SmackDown, you got Roman Reigns, Rowan, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston. You know, I mean, you can stick Miz in there; he can hang, but there's a lot of people in the top in the top of the card already. So I think he might be chilling in the mid card for a while. That being said, move on then to Sasha Banks challenging Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. So technically Sasha won by disqualification, but Becky keeps her title. This all happened when Sasha got frustrated and brought a chair into the ring, but before she could use it, Becky grabbed it, tried to hit Sasha with it, and ended up hitting the referee. So, you know, Sasha basically only has herself to blame. She's the one who brought the chair in the ring. And then, of course, Becky whooped that ass all over the frickin' arena, essentially. Brought it back into the ring and tried to squash her like, you know, frickin' hamburger meat. So, no complaints. I enjoy watching Sasha Banks get her ass beat. I don't like her. So, you know, simple enough. I am, however, tired of this the man gimmick. I don't know. It is getting a little old. I'm not, but I don't know. You know, maybe she can revitalize it. I've noticed she started saying, stealing from the old Johnny Cash song, when she says "the man came around" or "the man comes around." You know. I don't know if any of y'all listen to Johnny Cash. He's probably dead before some of y'all were born. But in either case, there's an old Johnny Cash song called "The Man Comes Around," and great song, really good song. But in either case, I'm gonna move on because I'm just showing how old I am. That being said, Kofi Kingston beat Randy Orton to retain the WWE Championship. Who booked this shit? Kofi beat Randy? Come on now. Oy vey, I'm moving on. Alright. So, then we got Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan. No DQ match. And, I mean, I was enjoying it. I mean, everybody who watches this knows I'm not really a Roman Reigns fan. But more so than anything else, I wasn't a fan of him getting pushed so hard, you know, to be the guy. His ring work is not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. You know, and his character work is not so bad either. You know, I can appreciate him more since he's not being, you know, hammered home to be the top guy. You know, that helps a little bit. You know, because I mean, they tried everything. They tried everything. Like they you know, they tried doing the against the authority angle like they did for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and just nothing felt genuine. However, this storyline they did here with, somebody tried to take him out and him, trying to figure out who it was and get his revenge and whatnot. This felt fairly genuine. This, I could believe him in this role, So, and then they were having a halfway decent match. It was not horrible by any stretch of the imagination. I was enjoying it, and I enjoyed it even more when when Luke Harper came strolling out. Eric Rowan beats Roman Reigns with an assist from Luke Harper. So, of course, there's been a lot of rumors that Harper was going to, be taken off and that he wanted out of his contract and this and that. And, now maybe he still does. I don't know. But he's apparently Harper and Rowan are going to be running buddies again. And I can't really complain about that because I think it's awesome. I think these two are great. I liked the Bludgeon Brothers gimmick. I think they ended it far too soon. Of course, they didn't really have a choice because somebody got hurt. I can't remember which one of them got hurt. It doesn't matter at this point. But that being said, our main event, Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman, Universal title on the line. Rollins beats Strowman. Who booked this shit? Who booked this shit? Alright. So, now you remember in the beginning of the video when I said sometimes if you don't get what you want, you get what you need? I think this might have been one of those situations. Because yes, Rollins beat Strowman. Definitely not what I wanted, but it might be what I needed. Because the next pay-per-view is Hell in a Cell. And after Seth wins, he gets attacked by The Fiend. So, they might have kept that belt on Rollins so that he can lose it to The Fiend in Hell in a Cell. I think I like this. So, that being said, giving a grade to a pay-per-view seems, I know I've done it in the past, and it seems a little contrived, but I'm going to put it like this. I liked this. I enjoyed this. This was not horrible. Wasn't the best thing ever, but it was good, and I'm interested to see where they're going to go from here. How are the 205 Lives going to do over in NXT? Are they going to replace that stupid purple belt with something a little more traditional, black leather and gold plating? I think then you got a sharp ass fucking championship. All right. Is Cedric ever going to become United States champion? I think he may. I think he could. Who are Rude and Ziggler going to go up against for the Raw Tag Team titles? Who will they be defending against? Okay. How long can Bayley hold on to that women's championship? After she got the pin on Charlotte, she ran out of there like a thief in the night. So, she knows she stole one. So how long can she keep up this charade, this facade of being a champion? All right. How long will the Revival reign as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions? I hope it's a long time. How long will Alexa and Nikki hold on to their Women's Tag Team Champions? Again, I hope it's a long time. The other side of the question, how long before either A, Alexa turns on Nikki, or B, Nikki completely loses her shit and turns on Alexa? Could it happen? I don't know. I want to find out. All right. How long is it going to take for Miz to become a 9-time Intercontinental Champion? How long will it take for Sami Zayn to fucking go away? How long will the man have a title on her shoulder when she comes around? When are we going to get saved from this boring ass title reign of Kofi Kingston? Come on, Randy, you were supposed to save us. Can we send Brock Lesnar to SmackDown? Put the belt back on Brock. So, what's going to happen with Rowan and Harper moving forward? Is Roman Reigns going to get his revenge? I mean, at this point, I really don't think so, because there's two of them. But then again, you know, it wouldn't be the first time they booked him like Super Santa. So, and last but not least, will the Fiend brutalize Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell? And where does Braun go from here? Because, yes, I know they had him take 4 curb stomps and a pedigree before he got beat. So they booked him strong. They still booked him to lose. So, yeah, I don't know. Where does he go from here? You know? Will he be battling the Fiend for the Universal title? I hope not. Because you put the title on the Fiend, I think the Fiend should actually run with that for a while. You know, he should have a lengthy title reign. Because you don't want to beat the Fiend too quickly. You know, because you're going to ruin his mystique. So I don't know where they go from here. But I want to find out. And if you want to find out with me and you want to continue to hear what I think, if you do, God bless you. You know, it's always nice to be able to talk to somebody. But that being said, I am Ken Carnage. And until next time, always remember that carnage is right around the corner.